flashing his lights, or is he just bouncing? He's flashing his lights, ain't he? So yeah, this isn't but a quarter-mile from my place. This asshole's like driving down the hill, and then you still got this fucking prick right here. That white truck. There's no deers around here. They're camping out by my house. They are camping out by my house. Now, unfortunately, I know that this is a nice truck. So that means you're limited. You can't get the sides all scraped up. Don't know what the hell they're up to. Still got this guy up over here. Just flashing lights, right? What are we doing up here? Well, he's braking. Are they spotlighting? What are they doing up here? This is about 8,000 block, County Road 9. You got 2 bogeys in the field. The white truck on the bottom right, he had shot maybe 6 or 7 shots. And it looked like he was up on top of the ridge and was kind of pointed at me. And then this other person, I don't know if it's a vehicle or what it is. It looks like some kind of truck or something. Because there was a RAV4 that was driving around too, but then there's like a red truck. So, and then all this area, you can't hunt in any of this area. There's like maybe a tiny spot somewhere back, like over the ridge. But if you want to go hunting, you got to go all the way over on this side here. And you got to go over there. The National Forest is over here. So everything from here, and especially around motherfuckers' houses. Hey, are you all responsible hunters? Are you all good responsible hunters? What? Okay, so I'm going to let the last 20 seconds play. But I want to explain what's going on, okay? So County Road 9 is going to go up here, and then you might not be able to tell, but this is a driveway right here. So County Road 9 just kind of keeps going up through here, and then this road goes off to the side. And I'm not for sure what road this road is called. But the reason why I know this, because this is the property I live on. This is the property I live on. This is the property 130, parcel 130. And this was the Elk Ridge lots, Elk Ridge subdivisions. And so, what are these 2 trucks doing here? I'll tell you what they're doing here. I had survived 39 shots, 8 assassination attempts. 8 assassination attempts, 8 different times that motherfuckers had drove by my house, caused a disturbance, and then ended up firing in my direction. And I was able to survive. I was able to live. And so, what is going on here? Well, my guess is it has to do with Phil Greeny, Sam Jepson, and some of these other right-wing sovereigns. Now, they're out here pretending that they're hunting, okay? And there might have been some people that were hunting, but this, like I said in this video, was you're not allowed to hunt around here. And so, I live, right on this property right here. And it's hard to tell because I had 2 sheds that was on property 130, and they're behind some trees. So what this guy is doing right here, because you can hear my dogs bark if you listen closely, and this is scary. This is intense. If I wasn't, I walked up onto a ridge, and then there was one of my dogs is with me. And I'm videotaping these people, and I don't know what they're up to. I can only suspect that they're there for sinister reasons. They're there for sinister reasons. And why are they stalking me? Why are they, coming after me? I didn't do anything to any of these people, but I did set a good example. I set a good example. I was paying for my planning and zoning permits, and then I was also on YouTube. I was questioning a bunch of different things. And so these are Nazis. The right-wing sovereigns are Nazi, Confederate, white supremacists, fascist. They're wicked. They're wicked as hell. And so when I say that I was a victim over 200 crimes, well, this is one of the crimes. One of the incidents that I had called Costilla County Police for, this is Conejos County, southern Colorado. I had one truck that was driving on the main drive, and then I had like another truck that had spotlighted me. It was about like a 30-degree vector, okay? And so one guy is driving up and down Seminole Trail. So we'll just pretend this is Seminole Trail here, and then let's say my house is right here. And so again, this is in Costilla County, but this will give you an idea of what's going on right here. So he's driving up and down, just hitting his engine real loud, just being obnoxious shit. And while I had a shotgun in my hand, it was pointed straight down. And I came out of the house because, okay, now we got some more dumb shit happening. More dumb shit is happening. And so, just rearing up and down, up and down. And then when I went to my backyard, you have a right to self-defense. You have a right to the Second Amendment. Who would tell somebody you don't have a right to self-defense? The cops didn't do shit. The courts didn't do shit. There was a lot of people that knows what's going on. I've emailed him a whole bunch of license plate numbers. The oppression that I feel, the injustice of this entire situation is over-fucking-whelming. Okay, so I exit out of my house, I walk behind my house, and I had an old broken down van, and as soon as I went to the backyard, immediately I hear gunshots. Okay, so I go into the backyard. There's two things that had happened. So if he was driving up and down Seminole Trail Road, well, there was a guy that was like, we're pretending my house is here, and so we're pretending this is Costilla County, and so it had been like right here. There was a road that was going this way, and so he turns his bright lights on me, okay? So I come to my backyard. I'm in my own property. It's a 5-acre plot, and there's a truck that puts his bright lights on me, and then this truck that was driving up and down the road, he's, driving up over this direction. He's firing towards me. So this motherfucker up here was bright lighting me, and then this motherfucker here was shooting shots at me. Shot, I want to say 5 or 6 shots that night, and it was 2 sets of shots, right? So there was initial set of shots, I get in front of my van, and just kind of breathing, not knowing what the hell is going on, because this is bullshit. Apparently you're not allowed to build a house in Costilla County. You're not allowed to build a house, and you're not allowed to be a good family man. You're not allowed to get a career. And this is America. This is such bullshit. It's not even fucking funny. And, nobody knows anything, but a lot of people know things, and nobody's telling a damn word because, if you're a thief, right, you got to be thicker than thieves, and you have to, don't snitch, right, keep your mouth shut. And it's actually incredible that the people that commit crimes and do the lying and aren't truthful and aren't honest, and they don't comply with planning and zoning law, they don't read the Constitution, they don't read any Colorado law, well, they get away with all their fucking crimes. So, I don't know what the lesson is, but I guess apparently with the right-wing sovereign movement, if you got friends and your friends are the right-wing sovereigns, then you get to just make up the rules as you go along, and then you get to drive by a dude's house and then say, well, he did a thing. Okay, so that's what had happened. They were driving up and down Seminole Trail. I go in the back, somebody bright lights me, and then the guy that was driving up and down Seminole Trail Road, fired. There was 2 volleys, so I don't know if it ended up being 5 or 6 or, 10, 11, 12 shots. There's plenty of 911 tapes, and then I took diligent notes on all of this. And so that's what had happened maybe a year ago, maybe several months ago, because now I'm in Conejos County. I fired a couple warning shots because a guy had threatened my life, and then the police came out and they had arrested me. But the people that tried to murder me, none of those people have been arrested. They didn't do any serious investigations. So I'm supposed to believe that a couple warning shots fired in self-defense is, the crime of the century. And yet you're allowed to drive by people's houses and try to assassinate them. You're trying to murder them. There's definitely a difference. There's a goddamn difference between somebody sitting at their house firing warning shots to stop somebody from threatening you to carry on with their life, versus somebody who drives to your house to try to shoot and kill you. There's a difference. One is evil and one is good. One is, offensive and one is defensive. I wasn't going around killing people's dogs. I wasn't going around doing drive-by shootings. I wasn't spotlighting people. I wasn't stalking people. I wasn't tailgating people when people would work on their property. I was happy that they were working on their property. I wasn't driving by their property acting like I was going to do something stupid. Phil Greeny's a part of it. Sam Jepson's a part of it. And, Robert Pickerell is a part of it. Preacher Pete had said that Kenny Capin was a part of it. Robert Pickerell mentioned Kenny Capin as well. But I know that the main guy that messed with me was Phil Greeny. Phil Greeny kept fucking with me. So what's going on right here? Let's watch a little bit more. Why are you camped out right there in Pine Tree so fucking close to my house? What are you doing? I don't trust it. I don't want whatever you're selling. Hopefully they'll leave soon. So, this is me. I don't trust it. This is me in a harrowing situation. And I'm being, basically as cool as a cucumber. I'm being so cool. And then you might just say, oh, it's just, okay, this is a good picture right here. So what is this guy doing? This is on County Road 9. And then this road right here is the road to get to my house. And you drive right around here. And I want to say right in these smattering of trees is where I live. And so this guy, you can hear the dogs that were barking in my shed. So this guy is just parked right there outside of my 5-acre parcel. There's a number of things he's doing. Well, one thing, maybe a dog will come out to the road and they'll murder my dog again like they did before. Okay, well, all my dogs are locked up, but they're inside the shed, so I don't know what this guy's up to. I mean, he could have just walked up to the shed and just, blasted them all. They're all in the, in the cage. So I'm sitting back here hoping that this situation doesn't get out of hand. It doesn't go out of control. And eventually they do just leave, okay? Oh, you're just out here hunting? Okay, it's about dusk. It's dark as shit. You can barely see anything. So, 9 p.m. or something? This is horse shit. They're not fucking hunting. They are goddamn fucking stalking. They are stalking, they are harassing, and they've already did several attempted murders. And so this guy's just sitting here. Maybe I'll come out. I'll yell at them. Hey, what the hell are you doing here? Maybe, maybe I'll fire a warning shot. Maybe something else will happen. And then, maybe they're there to provoke me so then they could say they were defending themselves. Or maybe this is all offensive. They're not against doing offensive things, okay? If you just go up to somebody and you kick them and then they say, hey, stop doing that. And then you say, hey, don't hurt my feelings. I endured 200 crimes. And my warning shots was a remonstrance, strongly communicating with the person that had threatened my life to stop threatening my life. And so this is 2 years ago. So it's now April 25th, 2025. So 2 years ago, it would be 2023. This would have been just, right around when the trial had happened. So the trial for the 3 warning shots had happened. And so this is my driveway right here. This guy is just sitting right next to, my sheds. Why did I move to Costilla County or Conejos County? So I could fight the cases, so I could fight the charges. It gave me a degree of freedom. It gave me a degree of peace, but I wasn't totally at peace. These people would have to drive 50 miles, from Costilla County into Conejos County, and they all ran into the grocery shop, and they all got or a bunch of them got hunter's permits. I remember somebody was inside there eyeballing me, and then he was talking to his friends, talking a bunch of shit. And I remember just feeling nervous, buying some bread or some shit. Another time I went into town and I got some water in a water tank. And when I drove back up, when I drove into town, there was people that was following me. And then when I went back there, and even though all those things had happened in Conejos County, I didn't feel like I was a prisoner in my own home. When I was in Costilla County, I was a prisoner in my own home for over a year, and shit was happening on the daily reg. Every fucking day something was fucking happening. Now, if the cops are being serious, then they would have just posted up at my house and just kept an officer there. They would have done some investigation. And if they would have just posted up any one of those days, they would have seen the crimes happening. They would have seen the crimes happening. Hey, can you knock it off? Can you knock it off? I'm trying to get some work done here, okay? So you just sitting there kind of crying. When I'm done with this, I'll take you for a walk. But for right now, I need to finish this. So there's more videos, and I'll show more videos. But this is terrifying. This is terrifying. Because if this motherfucker is either A, trying to provoke me, or B, you hope for the best, but let's expect the worst. This guy wanted to see me so he could shoot at me, and then this guy is his buddy So that way, when he shoots and kills me or shoots at me, and then maybe I'm running up over here, maybe that's what they're trying to do, scare me up, and I go over here, maybe find a dog and shoot some dogs. He sees me out and about, he shoots and he kills me. This guy is here just in case, me and him have some sort of firefight, and then he's like the backup plan or something. So let's, hope for the best, but get prepared for the worst. And so I'm up on the ridge, so they're thinking that I'm on my property, but I'm not on my property. I'm up on the ridge filming all this shit, but I'm still feeling nervous about my dogs. What's this situation about? And then how am I supposed to live my life here? How am I supposed to live my life? I'm trying to read all these stupid ass Colorado laws. I wasted so much time with planning and zoning. I stayed a year in an RV park so I could do planning and zoning correctly. My only problem was that I was too damn moral, too damn lawful, too good. I was too fucking good. And because I was too fucking good, my example made, mockery of all these assholes. They want to be able to, go to fucking Robert Pickerell's house and then talk a bunch of shit about me, and then when they were fucking around with me, there was one video where I have just a guy clearly clicking his gun at me. I showed it to Ann Kelly. Ann Kelly's okay with crimes. She is okay with crimes happening. Alonzo Payne had filed charges on me right before he got fucking kicked out. So a disgraced district attorney who was progressive, but because he's having all these issues, he's thinking, well, now he's got to crack down, and now and then he's going to crack down on me. She got mad because she says, hey, don't compare me to Alonzo Payne. Oh, you are Alonzo Payne. He filed fucking charges, right? And then she carried them on as if the liars lie, because the guy that, fired 3 warning shots straight up into the air from behind my house, well, he says a bunch of lies. Well, we'll talk about that later. But this is a scary situation here. I'm being cool and calm, I'm being so cool and calm. I'm being as cool as a cucumber. I'm cool, calm, and collected right here. So you don't understand what I'm feeling, but now that I'm, in more of a safe situation, I'm not in Colorado anymore, you're not allowed to build a house. All I wanted was, I had a dog, Tim, in Tecumseh, and I wanted to build a house. When I was building my house, I kept thinking of my daughter coming down the steps and with her prom. So I'm building a house for a future family that I'm working for, and I'm, taking a piece of desert property, a piece of, in Costilla County, 5 acres, and I'm trying to turn it into something beautiful. And you're not allowed to do that. In America, you're not allowed to do that. Not around Nazis. So when people are thinking, since the rise of fascism is happening, well, what you going to do? What you going to do when all this dumb shit is happening? Right? So I'm an easy lick. I'm, out there by myself. So let's say the worst happens. I come outside and I say, hey, what the hell's going on out here? Get the hell out of here. He shoots, bang, 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 and then I'm dead. And then I'm just lying here on 5 acres for what? A week? 2 weeks? How long do I lay on this, desolate? This is about 10 minutes away from the main drive. And then this is right next to Nathan Rubal. Nathan Rubal said, oh, you don't live out here. You don't live out here. I've never seen you out here. Oh, really? You never seen me out here. Okay, well, then I must not live out there. And then since you know so damn much, then who the fuck are all these motherfuckers? Like I said, there could be 1 or 2 that's like legitimate hunters just, out there. But this is not an area where you're allowed to hunt. So they got their permits, but they're driving around residential areas. And then, furthermore, Nathan Rubal, this is 10 minutes off the main road, so this is all dirt roads, dirt rocky roads. And so you could drive down through here, but then it starts to get bumpy, 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 bumpy. And so I think this guy has stopped right here, because if he goes a little bit farther, then he's going to have to endure some more bumps, and he doesn't want to endure more bumps. So he's going to back up and get on out of here. He's not going to go forward. He doesn't want to scrape the sides of his truck. And so Nathan Rubal, he's saying that this isn't a real county road because they don't maintain the county, so I can't expect any fire service, EMS service, or police service out here. And then I'm also not allowed to vote. I'm residing in Conejos County, but I'm not allowed to vote, right? So on top of not only am I being terrorized every fucking day, but now I got to work on a fucking court case. Where are the cops? Where are the courts? And then on top of all this shit, now you're telling me I'm not allowed to defend myself? This is just too fucking much. It's too fucking much. The oppression and the injustice is overwhelming. Overwhelming. If Bob beats the shit out of Tom, kicks his ass 200 fucking times, and Tom says stop, that doesn't make Tom the bad guy. Tom's the good guy. Tom's saying stop the fucking oppression. Bob wants to keep fucking with Tom. He's already committed 200 crimes against Tom. And now since it's in the court systems, these motherfuckers are afraid, that I'm going to say something or try to get them to testify. It'd be nice to know exactly, does it say exactly the date? Okay, yeah, here's the date. October 31st, 2022. So it said 2 years ago, but it's actually 2.5 years ago. So, just under. So it'll say 3 years here in a couple days. But this is actually right before the election. Right before the election. This is right before Ann Kelly gets elected. And I've already, there's already 8 different DAs. Alonzo Payne gets kicked out. They started having rotation of, lawyers coming from Denver and Boulder and shit. So just one different lawyer, another different lawyer. And this is right before the election of Ann Kelly. She just got reelected 2025. And I was, happy to see that a new pair of eyes would get on this. But do you think she cared about the truth? Do you think she cared about stopping the injustice and the oppression? She could have came in here and totally just ran the whole show like gangbusters. She could have been, the top dog telling the cops, here's what I want. My priorities are don't murder, don't rape, don't steal, don't assault, don't do arsons. And now you have an APB of 5 major felonies, violent crimes. We're going to stop violent crimes, violent felonies, and that's just what's going to be. I'm a brand new DA. We've had a bunch of issues with the court system and shit, but if you got a bunch of fascist fucks, well, they just think their shit don't fucking stink at all. But look, you're trying to tell me, what legitimate reason is there? This isn't in a hunting area. You're not supposed to hunt here. What legitimate reason would a person have to be at somebody else's fucking house 10 minutes into the woods on a dirt and rocky road, 10 minutes away from the main drive? I lived out there, and even though they said something about, access, there was, road access and shit, I took it as I own that property. And so if I'm willing, I damaged a truck so bad that I had to leave a truck parked out there. And so I took the chance, and since I'm out there by myself, if I want to drive on these rocky roads and, get some peace and privacy, and I read so much Colorado law, and I was working on my damn case, organizing my evidence, and then also trying to, take care of my dogs, and also doing some YouTubing and reading and writing. That's it. That's all I was doing. Reading and writing, smoking some weed, reading and writing, doing some YouTube videos, watching YouTube, making YouTube videos, and then recording these bastards to build up my case. But if I don't have anybody to listen to me, if I don't have anybody paying attention to any of this shit, when I look at all the different shootings that happen in America, there's 30 to 50 people, getting shot every fucking day? Every fucking day there's 30 to 50 people getting shot. And then where's the FBI? Where's the ATF? Where are the local cops, state cops? How come nobody is, focused on these major crimes? If I'm the governor of the state, it'd be hard for me not to just drive out to every single situation that people talk about just to make sure, are the cops doing what they're supposed to do? Are there criminals that's running around rampant? Why aren't you doing anything about the criminals? So this is from SLV Revolutions. It's titled MAH00198. And here's another, MAH00197. So this had just happened, and this is another white truck, right? So this guy is just driving down, I want to say County Road 9. Or no, he's up here in the woods or something. Eventually he's going to drive down County Road 9. Let's just watch this and listen to it. That red truck, is that the same red truck as before? And look at this white truck just sitting here. Look at this, not an inch away from my house. My house is right here, just behind some trees right there. And this motherfucker is sitting right here. County Road 9, in a spot where you're not allowed to hunt. And so you can see that there's a guy in the back of the truck and that there's an orange vest right there. And then what the fuck is he doing here? It's right at dusk, 6 p.m. You can't hunt on County Road 9. What the hell is this piece of shit up here doing? And then you can tell right here. See this little white piece right here? That's a part of my shed. So, you could barely see it because I built my sheds or had my sheds delivered right behind these trees that was on my property. And so, you're going to see this later on. This is basically the same shot from the same, point of view as 00198, but they don't have any rhyme or reason.
Just hovering right here by my right. Look, they can hunt over here, over here, over here, over here. They hunt all these spots.
And then you also have 2 people who liked it. I got 12 views and 2 likes. So who's watching any of this stuff? Who's watching this stuff and who's commented on any of this stuff? Nobody's saying a damn word because it's like nobody gives a shit. This is America, a place where nobody gives a fuck.
But my place is right here. See that little, and they are here. Up on this spot, and then they're over here. Yeah, okay. Just a coincidence, huh? The only thing I could maybe think is that maybe you're allowed to hunt up there at the top, but not around my house. Right?
So, okay, that, that goes more to what I was saying before. So let's just kind of take a look at SLV Revolutions, because, I'm, out here. This is when I'm in Conejos, when I'm in my little cabin, and I guess you only see a part of all this. But I'm sitting there talking about harassing, Troy Zinn charge, Merry Christmas, December, internet stalker, a whole bunch of things right here, right? Trying to, basically keep my sanity. Here I have, a video where Michael Gonzalez doesn't know right from wrong. Thunder went and got his girlfriend and saved his girlfriend, but he got charged and he had to kiss the court's ass. And so it just shows you that basically if the cops kidnap you, then the fucking court systems will fuck you over. They don't care for the crimes. They don't care if you're a victim of 200 fucking crimes. If the police arrested, Tom, well, Tom's going to get fucked the fuck over. It doesn't matter if he was a victim 200 times over. It doesn't matter at all. Do I have any more? Let's see. Let's just scroll. This is SLV Revolutions. And so, there's just a bunch of different things. I'm talking about, some people that had got killed here in Canyon City, Colorado, Denver. There's another guy, Matthew Heyer, got shot and killed when he was inside his RV. So there's a whole bunch of just information. The reason why I'm pointing out all these different murders that are happening in Colorado, because it's like, why does nobody give a shit that so many fucking murders are happening? It's almost like people just kind of keep their head down and head in the sand and shit. And this isn't about, owning guns or not owning guns. If we got the Second Amendment, then that means even liberals are allowed to defend themselves too. But where are the liberals at? Aren't liberals supposed to be bleeding heart liberals? So I can't get any fucking liberals to, put any attention on this. Here's a suspicious white truck that was parked on Seminole Trail Road. This is a county truck. This is from the biodiesel plant. This was a big fucking case. This happened. This is so nuts, okay? So I didn't leave for a year. There was a guy that said he needed for me to take him to Dollar General store. I go to his house. I go to take him to Dollar General store. And as I'm driving back, there's I had a friend that was at the house. I had a friend who was at the house watching the whole damn thing. I was able to get the license plate number on this thing, and I emailed it to Schultz, and Schultz never fucking got to me. So this is coming from the Mesita. There's a biodiesel plant. So this has to do with the government. Is this Phil Greeny? Phil Greeny used to work for the fucking government. Is he just borrowing all this shit? I leave the damn property and I come back and you got 4 or 5 industrial vehicles around my 5 acres in Costilla County. And I'm out there in the boonies. I'm out there, in BFE. So you're trying to tell me the 30-minute time that I fucking went to Dollar General and then I came back and I had 5 fucking industrial vehicles, 2 trucks, and an SUV and a dump truck surrounding my fucking house, and I'm supposed to pretend that nothing is happening? Yeah, go fuck yourselves, you fucking motherfuckers. I know that shit's happening, and the fact that you motherfuckers are going to pretend that it wasn't happening is such bullshit. And so I had posted that, a while, but then I put it on a timer, or maybe I just did it before, because all this is inside this shed in, Conejos County. And a lot of this is, Kenny Capin after chit-chatting with Robert Pickerel, felony menacing me. Here we go. Is this the video? So what we got here? Some kind of